It's a journey from College of Fisheries, Pantnagar, India to LEGTPA Pasteur, Lacanau, France. We are going to present what we learned and what is the difference between France and India.
The fish farm and its components. The fish farm of the college is specialized in cold water aquaculture. They culture species like rainbow trout, brown trout, koi carp, tilapia, etc. Its expert trio includes Mr. Philippe, Mr. Benoit and Mr. Emick. They guided us in every step of the training. The students of the college assist them in various practices. Here is the overview of the farm.
Saint Frazal Spring is the source of the fish farm. The average temperature is 11 degrees centigrade throughout the year. An automatic grid and a regulating gate manage the flow of water, which is connected to an alarm.
At the inlet, water is distributed to various parts of the farm, like hatchery, photo period regulatory tanks, circular tanks and raceway.
A well-managed indoor hatchery with 16 tanks and 8 incubators is an important component of the fish farm.
Fries and fingerlings are kept in circular tanks with continuous flow of water, which are 12 in number.
After rearing in circulatory tanks, fishes are transferred in cemented tanks called raceways. There are total 22 raceways with separate inlets and outlets. The water from the outlet goes to the draining canal for treatment.
There are 4 photoperiod regulatory tanks in which the light and dark cycle is controlled for early maturation of the trout for reproduction.
For the experiments on tropical and aquarium fishes, there is a recirculatory unit. Koi carps are cultured in earthen ponds.
Various products of the trout are manufactured in the commercial processing unit. Besides this, the fish farm has laboratory and a direction bureau.
The training in the fish farm. Every day, the work starts with the checking of the fish farm. After, hatchery, circulatory tanks and inlets and outlets of raceways are cleaned. Later, we feed the fishes and also write the mortalities. The canals are cleaned weekly.
In the hatchery, we disinfect our hands and boots before entering the hatchery. We clean the tanks with respective brushes and collect dead fishes. Mortality is documented every day and fishes are fed 4 to 8 times in a day.
Circulatory tanks. First, we prepare feed for the circulatory tanks according to size, and we feed them 3 to 4 times in a day. We clean the tanks and collect the dead fishes. The element size of feed plays a very important role in the growth of fishes. We maintain the oxygen level of the ponds and we grade the fishes according to their size to avoid cannibalism and record their average weight. Grading can be done mechanically or manually. The continuous flow of water is to be regulated many times in a day. The spreading of the feed must be done very carefully.
For the raceways, we start the day by cleaning the inlets and outlets of the raceways by brushes. We give the feed 1 or 2 times in a day according to the documentation. We always start feeding from tail region followed by head region. The feed is given according to their size. We record the mortality and dose of the feed. We should take care for brown trout during feeding because they are one of the most sensitive fishes of the cold water. We grade the fishes in the raceways to maintain the same size in each tank manually and we record their average weight.
Reproduction of rainbow trout. Male and female rainbow trout are kept separately in photoperiod for maturity. For female, we strip by using hands carefully. We use left hand for tail and right hand for pressing the belly. And we collect the eggs. We mix the sperms and the eggs, and now, after mixing well, we add water. When we add water, we mix the eggs and the sperm in slow rotation. Now we kept the tray for 4 minutes. After 4 minutes, we separate the dead eggs. And later, the eggs are kept in tray for 26 minutes in water. We use high pressure for triploids. They also practice the production of neo males and normal fish generations in the fish farm.
Difference between culture techniques of France and India. In teaching farm of our college, we mainly culture carps, both indigenous like Katla Katla, Labio rohita, Phrynis mrigla, and also culture exotic carps like silver carp, grass carp, and common carp. There are total 10 to 15 workers in the farm. There are total 72 ponds and tanks. We are experimenting for the culture of freshwater prawn.
The hatchery produces a large number of fish seeds every year. The source of water is river Beni. Integrated fish farming is also practiced in the fish farm.
Cold water fish farming in India. Trout farming needs high investment and quality water. It is developing in hill states of India. The Directorate of Cold Water Fisheries Research is the premier institute for cold water aquaculture.
These are the specimens of few Indian cold water species. We practice the same stripping method for reproduction in India. There is a need for establishment of post-harvest and value addition units for trouts like the fish farms in France.
In India, regular checking of transparency and plankton species for natural feeding of trouts. We frequently use turbines in inlets for maintenance of oxygen level. The use of polyhouse for raising water temperature is also common for trouts. The main difference between the culture practices is safety measures and number of people. The use of boots and proper dress and disinfectants is more prominent in France.
We found the cleaning, feeding, reproduction, immunological practices, regular checking for diseases, grading the fish, and the knowledge of people are the same in both the countries.
In India, we produce the fish feed in the country, whereas in France, sometimes they import feed from other countries.
What could be replicable in India is the development of processing and post-harvest practices of cold water species, as they are not quite commercial due to limited resources in the hills. As in fish farm of the college in France, they manufacture smoked trouts and sell them in the local market. The domestic demand in India has been assessed 800 tons per year. We hope from what we learned from our training in France, we will take steps to achieve the targets. Thank you, LEGTPA Pasteur.